I want to bring back our panel right now. Congresswoman Katie Porter, let's start with you as somebody who has spoken on a night like this. Haley Stevens, we expect her to likely speak first. How do you think about something like that, going out to a crowd in terms of crafting a message?
I think that you usually write 3 speeches. You write a win, a lose, and an I don't know. And I've only ever given the I don't knows because it's California. But I think that a lot of this for the candidate is just maintaining your energy, maintaining your momentum. It's stressful. Your staff are keyed up. The audience is keyed up. And I think these are both really talented candidates. And I think they both ran really strong campaigns. So what I want to see from both of them is an acknowledgement of the democratic process at work, a commitment to coming together after this to beat Mike Rogers, and just a lot of thanks to the energy that we're seeing out of Michigan tonight. As a Democrat, I think the energy we're seeing, even if it's being divided relatively evenly between 2 candidates, is good news. Yeah,
because Republican strategist Matt Klink, the opportunity for Republicans is if this deep division, the fact that people are so fired up, isn't healed for the fall, that's good news for Mike Rogers.
Absolutely. You want to hope that Humpty Dumpty cannot put the pieces back together again. I'm sure that the Rogers campaign has ads teed up for both respective winners to highlight the differences in the Democratic Party and to hopefully drive some of those toward Mike Rogers. But yeah, he shouldn't lose a beat once a winner is declared.
You know, you and I talked about this before. If you look at all of the exit polls in Trump's first term in 2018 and 2020, Susan Collins was the only Republican Senate incumbent or challenger who won in a state where his approval rating was net negative. The only one, Susan Collins in 2020. In the Epic MRA poll that came out a couple of days ago that had El Sayed trailing and Stevens slightly ahead, Trump's disapproval was 63% in Michigan. So, you know, it's going to be tough. I mean, the Democratic Party is divided. Either of them has, obvious issues. El Sayed, rural voters, black voters, Stevens with young people. But the reality is that Trump's standing has eroded to the point where both of them are going to be competitive. I mean, it's assured this is going to be a competitive race. Can Mike Rogers really win in an environment where 63% of people disapprove of Trump? Maybe. But again, only one person did it in the entire first term.
Mike Rogers couldn't win in 2024 in Michigan when Trump won.
Correct.
He lost by 20,000 votes to Alyssa Slotkin, Congresswoman, who is a more moderate Democrat.
Maybe a more formidable candidate than either of these, though, in a general election.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think these candidates, this has been a tough primary. They have both become, in some ways, more battle-hardened. They've been through a lot. They've shown a lot of grit. Slotkin didn't have to deal with the primary, really, ever, in her House races or in her Senate race. And so I think they come out of the primary, both of them, obviously a little bit tired. They need a little bit of time to recharge. But I think they come out strong, ready to take on
the general election is right around the corner.
It'll be interesting. I mean, look, El Sayed has been, I think, pretty openly contemptuous of her. I mean, he said AIPAC looked all over the country and found the least capable candidate, anywhere. He said that this week while the polling had him 15 points ahead. And she said, she said this week that he blames all problems in the country on Jewish Americans, essentially accusing him of anti-Semitism. So there's a lot of contention here in the final stages of this campaign. And as we've all said, they've divided the baby really in half. I mean, they really have unraveled the Democratic coalition in the way that Walter Mondale and Gary Hart or somebody would recognize from earlier presidential primaries. But again, when Trump is in this situation, and same thing in Texas and Ohio and Alaska and Iowa, he's under 50 now in all of those. And in his first term, Susan Collins in 2020 is the only Republican who won in a state where he was under 50.
And those are states where you would think that the Democrat would have a harder time, but recent polls seem to indicate that they may not be. We'll talk about that throughout the night.